Hi everyone, this is Ms. Doha and today's lesson is about Unit 1. But before we start, I want to ask you a question. Have you ever asked yourself about the importance of colors in our life? Do you think they are important? You know, in the past, people used colors from nature, but later on in the 19th century, they discovered the synthetic dye, which is a substance that gives color to things. And later on, scientists discovered that there is a kind of psychological effect for every color that affects our life. For example, the color red is a symbol of being angry. Yellow can highlight important things. And blue is the color of mourning in some countries. But in order to know more, I want you to watch today's video. Maybe you can understand more about the psychology of colors.
Have you ever heard that social media sites have blue backgrounds because blue makes you feel calm? Or have you read on some pop psychology site that wearing red to a job interview will make you more confident? The internet is full of sketchy facts and rumors about color psychology, the idea that certain colors can change our mood or influence our decisions. But what does the science have to say? Like a lot of things in psychology, the answer isn't crystal clear. Colors might affect our perception and maybe even our behavior, but not always in a predictable way. And when it comes to why, the jury is still out. One of the most famous examples of color psychology gone wrong is Baker Miller pink. In the late 1960s, a researcher named Alexander Schaus began investigating whether certain colors could actually cause your body to have a biological response. After doing some experiments, including a few on himself, he began to believe that exposure to the color pink had a calming effect, causing the lowering of heart rate and blood pressure and even weakening muscle strength. Schaus worked to find a shade of pink that was most effective and believed the color could do wonders in prison. He convinced a naval correctional facility, run by Gene Baker and Ron Miller, to paint a holding cell that color, which came to be known as Baker Miller pink. At this prison, incoming inmates were thought to be especially unruly, but after 5 months of using the pink holding cell, there had been zero violent or disruptive incidents. The officers were convinced that the pink paint worked, and were even more impressed because all it seemed to take was 15 minutes of exposure. Schaus and others later tried to show that Baker Miller pink had a psychological effect on people, and that the color could be a calming force in other prisons. But those studies don't really hold up when you look at how they were done. For one thing, the scientists didn't split up the prisoners randomly and put half in pink rooms and the other half in, say, white rooms. Instead, they simply compared the amount of violence in the first year, when there were white walls, to the following year when things were painted pink. Carefully controlled experiments have failed to find that Baker Miller pink is, as Schaus claimed, tranquilizing. But that doesn't mean that color doesn't matter at all. Consider experiments done in 2012 in the Netherlands with people using poker chips. When poker players were given red chips, they bet more and were more competitive. When asked how they were feeling during the game, they reported feeling stronger. Players using white or blue chips, on the other hand, tended to fold more. So color does seem capable of changing feelings and behavior. But that raises the question of why? Is that because red has some sort of biological effect on people when they're playing poker? Or is it that people learn to associate certain meanings with certain colors because of their culture? Red might have an emboldening effect on a select group of Dutch people, as seemed to be the case in the poker study, but not on people in Japan or Kenya, for example. And even then, the associations that we make with a color at a poker table won't necessarily apply to your wardrobe. You probably have your own personal associations with red, too. So something about color matters. The challenge for psychologists today is to figure out how and why colors affect us, while avoiding the mistakes of their Baker Miller pink past. That means improving research methods, including by being more careful about what we mean by color.
Okay, now after you have watched this video, I want you now to read your reading passage in your book, page 6 and 7. After reading, you should answer the exam task here. You're going to find the more information about how colors can affect our lives and how they are important and so on. Now we're going to learn some new vocabulary that are going to be mentioned in the passage. Synthetic dye, as I have just said, synthetic dye is something that is made by man, and it's a substance that changes the color of things. So as you see here in this picture, it can be powder or it can be liquid, so it just changes the color of things. Another thing is stimulant. Stimulant, as you see here, it's Nescafe or a kind of medicine that helps you to stay awake and alert and active all the time. Dominance. See, this cat is the winner. So this means that it is the dominant character here. It means here it's the character that has the more power or the most power ever. Okay, so dominance means being more important or powerful than others. Stability. If I am seeking stability in my life, this means that I'm trying to have everything stable. Everything doesn't change. Everything is the same all the time. And mourning. When you mourn people, this means that you wear black, you wear blue, whatever the color that is used for mourning in your country, but you're sad for somebody's death. And of course, you have heard this before when you are shouting at somebody and this person answers or says that you are very aggressive. Aggressive means that you attack others, you harm others, you're very angry. You get angry easily all the time. So these are aggressive people. And depression, and of course the adjective is depressed. When you're depressed, you feel that everything around you is not in a good way. You feel down. You feel that you're unable to do anything or unable to concentrate, unable to get to do anything good. Worth. If I say that this thing is worthy, it means that it has a value. Nothing worth having comes easy. So if you want to have something worthy, you have to work and to do your best all the time. And from this word, we can learn how to know trustworthy people. Trustworthy means people whom I can trust, whom I can put my trust into. Like, for example, my friend is trustworthy. Whenever I tell him or her a secret, they never tell it to anybody. So this is all. But before we finish, we have here an exercise that we need to answer together. It's in your book, page 7. We're going to complete. People rely on you if you are attractive, embarrassed, aggressive, trustworthy, depressed. So people depend on me whenever I am trustworthy. If you're sad and feel that you cannot enjoy anything. So if you are depressed, of course, you cannot find anything that makes you happy or makes you able to do anything. When people I forgot this one. You feel ashamed or shy if you are embarrassed in front of people. So this makes you shy or ashamed of what had happened. When people they behave angrily and violently toward others, yes, aggressive. And the last one is going to be somebody who is pleasant to look at, means attractive. Okay, so this is for the first 2 pages of the unit. In order to find more vocab about the unit, watch the next video. Bye.